Welcome back, West Texas. Here now with your full final forecast. Starting off these current temperatures just one more time. You see the entire areas in the 40s except for Ozona, still holding on to that 50 degrees exactly. We've got these strong winds coming in from the east, and it took a while for these western counties to really cool down. But you see they're finally getting there. Garden City, Midland, and Big Spring around 48, 49 degrees, 46 up here in Big Spring. It's going to continue to be colder in the Big Country than in the Concho Valley, primarily because of the cold front that came through, and we're going to have our system coming in from the northwest as well. We're going to have some winds only up to 10 miles per hour, so not particularly strong, but it's going to make a big difference when you're waking up in the morning. Wind chill valley is going to be especially effective in the Big Country. You see even 19 degrees up here in Snyder, Baird, and Breckenridge, Abilene at 23 degrees. So it's going to feel a good almost 10 degrees cooler in the Big Country. But you see the Concho Valley still hanging around the 30s, around 33 in San Angelo, even up to 38 in Sonora, 37 in Ozona and Junction. But as we get into tomorrow, it will be a colder day than we've seen these past few. We're going to have quite a range as well. You see 28 degrees up here in Snyder, even over to 50 degrees in Comanche, Mason, and Junction. That is a huge difference, over 20 degrees, and that's partially going to be because we have that system coming in from the northwest. So Snyder, Big Spring, Colorado City, those could be some of the first counties to get hit with some of that snow or wind chill mix or even just rain. So what's it going to look like when you're walking out the door tomorrow throughout the day? It's just going to be cold, long story short, but how cold is going to be what makes the difference. So you see we'll be in the 30s up to about 10 a.m. Once we hit noon, that's when we're going to be in that 40s range, and we'll stay there through most of the afternoon until the sun goes back down, and that can have an effect on what kind of precipitation you're going to see, especially if you're up north in the Big Country where there's just going to be more variety. So I've got the weather pattern here to show you what things are going to be looking like. This is where we were at 6 p.m. We've got this cold front that's pushing out of the area, and the low pressure system is slowly making its way east, going to be sitting in between Texas and New Mexico when you're waking up tomorrow morning. You see around 6 a.m. some little bits of rain could be on the radar. Not all of it may be reaching the ground, but even a little bit of snow starting to get into the Big Country as well. Now it's going to continue to make its way towards the east as we continue through the morning. You see by noon, things have shifted quite a bit in terms of when we could be seeing precip. It's definitely possible to still see some in the morning, but those actual chances have shifted more so into the afternoon. You see that snow finally starting to enter the Big Country by the time we get to noon exactly. And as we continue through the afternoon, as it continues to move its way east, you see a lot of it turns into rain. We have this line of wintry mix as well, and part of that is going to be affected by what those temperatures are like. You know, we've got dry and even a little bit of warm air in the layers above us, so we might not even see precipitation make its way to the ground. Now we will be done with this system as we get through the evening. So when you're going to bed on Wednesday, you should be done with that rain. We're waking up on Thursday, we'll be all in the clear. Now precipitation coverage, you know, we've got that rain that's going to be mainly in the Concho Valley. When you get up to the Big Country, that's when you have that possibility of snow and even that wintry mix that's going to mess with things a little bit as well. So wrapping it up with your 7-day forecast, we got to get through tomorrow. I know nobody likes winter precip, but definitely still be safe on the roads. We may not have accumulation, but it can still make the roads very slick. But just get to the weekend where temperatures will be back in the 60s, and we'll even see the sun again. You see warmer temperatures in the 70s maybe as we start out next week.